Make them out. Alright, brush it out of the way then.
Spring 1624. The Swedish commander-in-chief, Count Oxenstierna, is raising troops in Dalecarlia for the Polish campaign. The canteen woman, Anna Fearling, known under the name of Mother Courage, loses one son.
How can you muster a unit in a place like this? I've been thinking about suicide, Sergeant. Here I am, got to find our commanders 4 companies before the 12th of the month. And people round here are so nasty I can't sleep nights. No notion of a word of honour, loyalty, faith, sense of duty. This place has shattered my confidence in the human race, Sergeant.
It's too long since they had a war round here. It stands to reason. Where's the sense of morality to come from? Peace. That's just a mess. In peacetime, the human race goes wild. People and cattle get buggered about. Who cares? Look, I've been in places I ain't seen war in like 70 years. And most of the folk there ain't got proper names to themselves. There's no way of telling one another apart. It takes a war to get proper nominal rolls and inventories. Shoes in bundles and corn in bags and man and beast properly numbered and carted off. Because it stands to reason. No order, no war.
Look, here's a cart coming. 2 tarts with 2 young fellows on it. Stop her, Sergeant. If this one's a flop, I'm not standing here spring months any longer, I can tell you. Morning, Sergeant.
Morning all. And who are you?
Business people.
You captains tell the drums to slacken and give your infancies a break. It's Mother Courage with her wagon, full of the finest foods they make, with crawling lice and lucid cattle, with lumbering guns and straggling kits. How can you flog them into battle unless you get them boots that fit? The New Year's come, the watchmen shout, the thaw sets in, the dead remain. Wherever life has not died out, it staggers to its feet again. Captains, how can you make them face it? Marching to death without a brew. Courage has rum with which to lace it and boil their souls and bodies through. Their musket grind their stomach hollow. Captain, your men don't look so well, so feed them up and let them follow while you command them into hell. The New Year's come, the watchmen shout, the thaw sets in, the dead remain. Wherever life has not died out, it staggers to its feet again.
Halt! Who are you with, you trash?
The 2nd Finnish Regiment.
Where's your papers?
Papers?
What? Mean to say who you thought of Mother Courage is?
Never heard of her. What's she called Courage for, anyway?
Courage is the name they gave me, Sergeant, because I was scared of going broke. So I drove my cart straight through the bombardment of Riga with 50 loaves of bread aboard. They were going mouldy, it was high time. Didn't have any choice, really.
Don't be funny with me, your papers.
That's all the papers I've got, Sergeant. You'll find a whole big missile from an outing in Bavaria for wrapping gherkins in. And a road map of Moravia. God knows when I'll ever get there. Might as well chuck it away. And a stamp certificate that my horse hasn't got foot and mouth. Only he's dead, worse luck. Cost 15 florins he did, not me, luckily. That enough paper for you?
Sergeant, me thinks I smell insubordination in this individual. What we need in this camp is obedience.
Sausage, if you ask me.
Name!
And a feeling?
You all called feeling then?
What do you mean? It's me's called feeling, not them.
Aren't they not your children?
Oh, you bet they are. Doesn't mean they all have to be called the same, though, does it? For instance, I call him Elif no jockey because his father always claimed to be called co-jockey or mo-jockey or something. I call him Swiss cheese. And that's cut unhelped. She's half German.
Nice family, I must say.
Aye. My cat and me have seen the world.
And you're from Bamberg, Bavaria. How'd you come to be here?
You can't wait till war chooses to visit Bamberg, can I?
You two should be called Jacob Ox and Usu Ox, pulling the cat like that. Suppose you never get out your harness.
Oh, Mac, can I clobber him? What I sure would like to.
And I say you can't, just you stay where you are. Now, two fine officers like you, I'm sure you could use a nice pistol or a belt. Yours is on its last legs, Sergeant.
I could use something else. These two boys are fit as young birch trees, I observe. Chests like barrels, solid leg muscles. So, why are they dodging their military service, may I ask?
Not a chance, Sergeant. Yours is no trade for my kids.
But why not? There's good money in it, glory too. Besides, flogging boots is women's work. Come here, you. Let's see if you've got muscles in you for that chicken.
Ran off, tell them they're trying to kidnap your brother. Go on. Just you try and kidnap him. I'll slit you open, trash! We're peaceable people and we're doing an honest trade in ham and linen.
Peaceable? I don't think. Look at that knife. You ought to be ashamed. Put that knife away. A minute ago, you admitted you lived off the war. What else would you live on? But how can you have a war with no soldiers?
No need for it to be my kids.
Oh, you'd like the war to eat the pips and spit out the apple, is that it? It's to fatten up your children, but you won't invest in it. Scared of the war that keeps you going? Your sons aren't scared, I can see that.
It takes more than a war to scare me.
And why? Look at me, has army life done all that badly by me? Joined at 17.
Still got to reach 70.
I don't mind waiting.
And in the sod, eh?
We might as well have a look at that belt. After all, our people here live by their business. Hey you, Sergeant wants to buy that belt.
Half a florin. 2 florins what a belt like that's worth.
Ain't new. Let me get out of this damned wind, I can have a proper look at it.
It's not what I call windy.
And then we men will have one together. Got your bounty money? Come along.
Might be worth half a florin, it's silver.
6 solid ounces.
10 florins bounty money. And then you'll be a gallant fellow fighting for the king, and the women will be after you like flies. And then you can clobber me one for insulting you.
It's alright, Captain. Sergeant's just paying. Gotta get moving. Oh, Cap. Where's Elif?
He must have been off with the recruiter.
You simpleton! It's alright, Katrin. It's not your fault. I know you can't talk.
That's life. There are plenty worse things than being a soldier. You want to live off the war, but keep yourself and your family out of it, eh?
You have to help your brother pull the cart now, Katrin.
like the war to nourish you, have to feed it something too. Someone stole my overcoat, so how will I keep warm? Who will hide me from this biting cold or shield me from the storm? So dance with me and keep the cold away. If you've got your papers, you can marry me today. So dance with me and keep the cold away. If you've got your papers, you can marry me today.
In the years 1625 and 1626, Mother Courage crosses Poland in the train of the Swedish armies. Before the fortress of Walhof, she meets her son again. Successful sale of a duck and heyday of her dashing son.
$60 hellers for a miserable bird like that?
Miserable bird. This fat brute. Mean to say some greedy old general. And what's your step if you've got nothing for his dinner? Can't afford 50 hellers for him.
I can get a dozen just like it for 10 hellers down the road.
A duck like that you can get just down the road. In time of siege, which means hunger that tears your guts. A rat you might get. Might I say, because they're all being gobbled up with 5 men spending the best part of a day chasing one hungry rat. 50 hellers for a giant duck in time of siege!
But it ain't us having the siege, it's the other side. Can you not get that into your head?
We've got nothing to eat either.
Now then, Aleph, my son, into your general's tent with you and sit thou at my right-hand side. For you accomplished a deed of heroism today, like a pious cavalier. And doing what you did for God, and in a war of religion as that, is something I commend in you most highly. You shall receive a gold bracelet as soon as we take in this town. Here we are, come to save their souls for them. And what do those insolent, dung-encrusted yokels go and do? Drive their beef away from us. They shove it into those priests of theirs all right back in front. You showed them manners, huh? So here's a pot of red wine, and the two of us will knock it back at one gulp. Pistol for the chaplain, eh, the old bigot? Now then, what would you like for dinner, my darling?
A bit of meat, why not?
Cook! Meat!
Then he goes and brings guests when there's nothing there.
It's a hungry job cutting down peasants.
Jesus Christ, it's my Aleph!
You what?
My eldest boy. It's been 2 years since I lost sight of him. Snatched him from me on the road. Must think well of him if the general's asking him to dinner. And what kind of dinner can you offer? Nothing. You heard what the general's visitor wishes to eat. Meat. Take my tip. You settle for the duck. It'll be a florin.
Meat! Lamb, you foul cook, or I'll have your hide!
Give it over, this is blackmail.
Didn't someone say it was a miserable bird?
Miserable. And a criminal price. 50 hellers?
I said a florin.
You might at least pluck it while I see to the fire.
He won't be half surprised to see me. He's my clever, dashing son. Then I've got a stupid one too. At least he's honest though. The girl's no use. One good thing she doesn't talk.
Drink up, my son. Now then, Aleph, tell me the neat way how you smashed those yokels and captured the 20 oxen. Let's hope they get here soon.
A day or two at the most.
Thoughtful of Raelif not to bring the oxen until tomorrow. Otherwise you lot wouldn't have looked twice at my duck.
Well, it was like this, see. I'd heard that the peasants had been driving their oxen out of the forest into one particular wood, mostly by night and on the sly. That's where people from the town were supposed to come pick them up. So I holds off, reckoning they'd be better than me at finding them. I had my men slaving after the meat, cut their rations even further, until their mouths were practically watering at the sound of anything beginning with me, like measles, say.
Very clever of you.
Possibly. The rest was a piece of cake. Except that the peasants had cudgels and outnumbered us 3 to 1. 4 of them shoved me into a thicket and threw my sword from my hand and bawled out, "Surrender!" What's the answer? They're going to make mincemeat of me.
What did you do?
I laughed.
You did what?
Laughed. So we got them talking. I put her on business footing from the start and I told them 20 florins a head's too much. I'll give you 15, as that's all I was meaning to pay. That threw them, and they began scratching their heads. In a flash, I picked up my sword and was hacking them to pieces! Necessity's the mother of invention, eh, sir?
What is your view, pastor of souls?
That phrase is not strictly speaking in the Bible, but when our Lord turned the 5 loaves into 500, there was no war on, and he could tell people to love their neighbours, as they'd had enough to eat. Today is a different story.
Quite another story. You can have a drink after all that, you old Pharisee. Hacked him to pieces, did you? It's my gallant lads can get a bite to eat.
Aye. In a flash, I picked up my sword and was hacking them to pieces.
You've the makings of a young Caesar. You'd ought to see the king.
Oh, I have, from a distance. I'd like to model myself on him.
I appreciate soldiers like you, Aleph. Somebody like that I was to treat as would my own son. Oh, I wagered your father was a soldier.
Oh, a grey soldier, I've been told. There's a song I know about it.
Oh, sing it to us!
It's a song called The Girl and the Soldier. The guns blaze away and the bayonet'll slay, and the water can hardly be colder. What's the answer to wise? Keeps off my advice. That's what the girl told the soldier. Next thing, the soldier with the round up the spout hears the band playing and gives a great shout. Why? It's marching. What makes you a soldier? So it's down to the south, there northwards once more. See him catching that bayonet in his naked paw. That's what his comrades told her. Oh, do not despise the advice of the wise. Learn wisdom from those that are older, and don't try for things that are out of your reach. That's what the girl told the soldier. Next thing, the soldier is painted in place, wades into the river and laughs in her face. Though the water comes up to his shoulder, when the shingle roof glints in the light of the moon, we'll be with you again, not a moment too soon. That's what the girl told the soldier. You'll go out like a light, and the sun will take flight. Your courage makes us feel colder.
Oh, that vanishing light, make God see that it's right.
That's what the girl told the soldier. Fancy seeing you again, Ma.
Things get up to my kitchen these days.
Where's the others?
They're fine. They made Swiss cheese paymaster up a second finish. Anyway, he'll stay out of the fighting that way. I couldn't keep him out altogether.
How's the old feet?
Bit tricky getting my boots on in the morning.
So you're his mother. Hope you've got plenty more sons for me like this one.
Ain't it my lucky day? You're here to see your son get commended.
Oh, you bet I heard.
What was that for? Taking the oxen?
No, not surrendering when they had you and wanted to make mincemeat of you. Didn't I tell you to look after yourself? You finished devil!
Right there.
years later, Mother Courage is taken prisoner along with elements of a Finnish regiment. She manages to save her daughter, likewise her covered cart, but her honest son is killed.
I'll let you have that sack shot for a couple of florins. That's cheap at the price. I need to have the money because the Colonel's been boozing with his officers since 2 days back. And the drink's nearly run out. That's troops' munitions. They catch me with that, I'm for court-martial. You crooks flock the shot and the troops have got nothing to fire at the enemy. Have a heart, can't you? I mean, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. I'm not taking army property. Not at that price. But you can sell it to the 4th Regiment, Sammer, for 5 florins. 8 even if you let him have a receipt for 12. He's right out ammunition. Why don't you do it? I don't trust him. He's a pal of mine. Catherine! Take it away and pay him a florin and a half. A florin? I said 2 florins. And I said a florin and a half. Now, here are your woolies. Don't lose them. It's October and autumn may set in any time. The most important thing is that your regimental accounts add up right, come what may. Do they add up right?
Yes, Mother.
Don't you forget they made you paymaster because you're honest. I bet you've not even thought of clearing off with him. No, not you. That is a great consolation to me. Now, don't lose those woolies.
No, Mother, I'll put them under my mattress.
I'll go along with you, paymaster. And don't you start learning him any of your tricks!
No reason not to say goodbye, Arbiter.
I don't like seeing them together. He's wrong company for our Swiss cheese. Anyway, war's off to a good start. Easily be another 4 or 5 years until all countries are in. A bit of foresight, don't do anything silly, and business will flourish. Don't you know you're not supposed to drink before midday with your complaint?
Complaint? Who says it's a libel?
They all say so.
Because they're all telling lies about me, Mother Courage. And me at my wit's end, because they're treating me like something the cat dragged in thanks to those lies. I never used to drink before midday. It gives you crow's feet, but now, what the hell? All the second Finnish know me. I ought to have stayed home after my first fellow did me wrong. It's no good arse out, sort of being proud, eat shit. That's what you got to do, or down you go.
Don't you start again with that Peter of yours and how it all happened, especially in front of my innocent daughter.
She's the one that should hear it. Put her off love.
No one can put him off that.
I was only 16. The foe came into our land. He laid aside his saber, and with a smile he shook my hand. And after the May parade, the May light starts to fade, and the regiment dressed by the right. The drums were beaten, that's the drill. The foe took us behind the hill, and fraternized all night. There were so many foes then, but mine worked in the mess. I loathed him in the daytime, at night I loved him nonetheless. And after the May parade, the May light starts to fade, the regiment dressed by the right. The drums were beaten, that's the drill. The foe took us behind the hill, which came upon me was wished on me by fate. My friends could never grasp why I find it hard to share their hate. Fields were wet with June. When sorrow first I knew the regiment dressed by the right. The drums were beaten, that's the drill. And then the full my lover still went marching out of sight. I followed him, the fool that I was, but I never found him. And that was 5 years back.
You forgot your hat.
Anyone who wants it can have it!
Let that be a lesson to you, Katrin. Don't you start anything with them soldiers.
I have a message for you from your son Aelin. And the cook has come along because you made such a profound impression upon him.
I just came along to get a bit of air.
Well, that you can always do here, so long as you behave yourself. And if you don't, I can deal with you. What does he want? I don't have any extra cash.
Actually, I had a message for his brother, the paymaster.
He's not his brother's paymaster. Here. Give him this. It's a sin. He's banking on mother's love and should be ashamed of himself.
Not for long. I'll have to be moving off soon with the regiment. Might be to his death. Give him a bit more. You'll be sorry later. You women are tough, then later on you're sorry. A little glass of brandy wouldn't have been a problem, but it wasn't offered, and who knows, a fella may lie beneath the green sod and none of you folk will be able to dig him up again.
Don't give way to your feelings, cook. To fall in battle is a blessing, not an inconvenience. And why? It is a war of faith, fought for the faith, and therefore the pleasing of God.
Very true. It's a war of faith. It's a war in one sense, what with requisitioning, murder, loot, and the odd bit of rape thrown in, but it is a war of faith. Stands to reason. But it's first to work at that, you have to admit.
I tried to stop him, but he says he's taking a shine to you. You figured in his dreams.
I just want a glass of brandy from a fair hand, what harm in that? Although, you can bet I'm groggy already, because Chaplain here, he's been telling such jokes all the way along, you can bet I'm still blushing.
And him a clergyman too. I'd better get the pair of you a drink, or otherwise you're going to start making me immoral suggestions because you've got nothing better to do.
Behold the temptation, said the court preacher, and fell. And who is this enchanting young person?
That is not an enchanting but a decent young person.
fine idea till we can have another top
You
bet!
forgot your pie!
Keep it for me, I'll do this!
Would happen just as we're making a bit of money. Now you run along as well!
I think it might be better if I were to remain seated here. It could bring the enemy down upon me if I were seen to run.
What are you doing, you fool? Who's going to pay you for it? You're risking your neck. I'll look after it for you.
You can tell them I tried.
Cross my heart! What are you doing with that strumpet's hat? Take that lid off! You got crazy! And with the enemy arriving any second, do you want them to pick you up and make a whore of you? And she's going to put those boots on whore of Babylon! Take those boots off! Jesus Christ, chaplain, help me get those boots off her! I'll be right back.
Fancy that! The Catholics are coming! Where is my hat? Where is my hat? Who's been kicking it around? I can't go out looking like this if the Catholics are coming. What will they think of me? No mirror either. How do I look? Too much powder?
Exactly right.
Where are them red boots? I left them right here. Now I'll have to get to my tent barefoot. This is an outrage.
Here's some ashes. What you got there?
Regimental cash box.
Throw it away, no more paymastering for you. Chaplain, take your clerical tops off, they'll find you with those. Will you keep still? There you go. A bit of muck and you'll be alright. Take a soldier, especially a Catholic one, and a clean face and there's your instant chore. There. That should do it. Let's have a look. That'll do. You look like you've been grubbing in a muck heap. Stop trembling, nothing will happen to you like that. Where'd you put the cash box?
And a cart.
What, my card? She a criminal if you see!
I'll find somewhere else for it and I'll clear out with it.
You leave it now, it's too late! For heaven's sake, the flag! It was mine, I got nothing, it was there. 25 years I've had it.
I've been waiting around with nought to do. And the sergeant, he's always been kind to me. It's not going to be long before he comes looking for me and he says, "Where's Swiss cheese with the pay box?"
You thank your stars that are after you.
What can I say? I can't even hold a service here. It might cause trouble for me.
That's how it goes. He either sit, the one with his faith and the other with his cash box. I don't know which is more dangerous.
We are all of us in God's hands.
I don't think it's quite as bad as that yet. Eat up!
Got no appetite. Look, what's the sergeant to do when payday comes around?
There are no paydays on a retreat.
They needn't be paid if they haven't retreated. Needn't stir a foot.
Swiss cheese, you're so conscientious, it makes me quite nervous. I brought you up to be honest, you not being clever, but you've got to know where to stop.
So far they've taken us all for granted as part of the cart, but for how long?
Let's get rid of it.
That's even worse. They have spies. Suppose you were seen. Yesterday morning, first thing, just as I was relieving myself, a fellow popped up out of the ditch. It took me all I had to suppress an ejaculatory prayer. That would have given me away all right. What I think they'd like to do best is go around sniffing people's excrement to see if they are Protestants. The spy was a little runt with a patch over one eye.
What have I found? Yvette's red boots. Coolly went and pinched them, she did. And all because you put it in her head that she's an enchanting young person. Yvette's wrecking herself for money. That's understandable. But you do it for nothing. For pleasure. What did I tell you? No soldiers for you. You're to wait till it's peacetime. You are not to start exhibiting yourself until it's peace.
I don't find she exhibits herself.
Too much for my liking. And you leave that box where it is and keep an eye on your sister. She needs it. Two of you will have me in my grave yet. I'd sooner be minding a bag full of fleas.
We'll be able to sit in winter. these much longer. Aye. These will be turning yellow now. No, I don't want no drink. I'm thinking. Say she can't sleep. Said it would be better if I found a safe place for the box. Right, I'll have that drink. I do. Right, I'll put it down next to the rat hole by the river for the time being. I can't have retreated that far. And then I'll get it tonight before first light. But the sergeant's agreeably disappointed.
I'm disappointed in you, Swiss cheese. I put you in charge of that pay box. Now you go and get it!
God be with you, mistress. Have you seen anyone round here from 2nd Finnish Regimental Headquarters?
What are these faces for? Have you jabbed yourself now again? Shh. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, poor child. Look, I thought it over and... Look, I need to go. It's the best idea. Look, shh. Look, shh. Poor child. I know you can't get the words out, but I need to go.
What's all this? Catherine, keep calm. Tell it me slowly. Mother understands you. What, so the bastard did take the box? Oh, that little hypocrite! Catherine! Keep calm. Don't calm like a wolf. You know I don't like that. What does Reverend say? What a one-eyed man came along.
That one-eyed man's a spy! Have they arrested Swiss cheese? We're done for!
Better hoist the new flag. Look at Catherine too.
Ah! Let me go! Get now! Don't pass my shoulder!
Here's where he came from. You know each other.
Us? How?
I don't know. Look, you might have seen me here last night. I had my dinner. 10 hellers it cost me. It was too salty.
Who are you people, eh?
We're law-abiding people. That's right, he bought a dinner here, said it was too salty.
Trying to pretend you don't know each other. That it?
How should I know him? I can't know everyone. And I don't go asking around if everyone's a heretic. If he pays, he's not a heretic. Are you a heretic?
Go on.
He sat there very properly, never opening his mouth except for when eating.
Who are you?
That's just my pot boy. Now I expect you two gentlemen must be very thirsty from all that running around. I'll get you a brandy.
No brandy on duty. You're carrying something. Must have hidden it by the river. Or the bulk in your tunic when you left here.
You sure it was him?
Look, I did see a guy running off with a bulge in his tunic, but it's not me. You've got the wrong man.
I'd say it was a misunderstanding too. Such things happen. I'm Courage. You've heard of me. Everyone knows me. I'm a good judge of character, and I'm telling you, that's an honest face he's got.
We're on the track of the 2nd Finnish Regiment cash box. We've got the description of the fellow responsible for it. Been trailing him 2 days. It's you!
It's not me!
And you better cough it up or you're a goner, you know? Where is it?
Surely he'd rather cuff it up than be a goner. Right out, he'd say. You're stronger than me. Here it is, I've got it. Speak up, stupid idiot. Here's the sergeant giving you a chance.
I suppose I ain't got it.
Then come along. We'll get it out of you.
He'd tell you. He's not that stupid. And don't you twist his shoulder.
Okay, places like that where someone gets caught are not unknown in religious history. It reminds me of the passion of our Lord and Saviour. There's an old song about that. In the first hour Jesus smiled, who had prayed since even, was betrayed and led before Pontius the heathen. Pilate found him innocent, free from fault and error. Therefore, having washed his hands, sent him to King Herod. This is Jesus, King of Jews, cried they in derision, till the sun withdrew its light from that awful vision. On the Son of Man they spat, mocked him and made merry, till the sun withdrew its light from that awful vision.
Touch and go. They say Sergeant's open to reason, though. Only we mustn't let on it's Swiss cheese, otherwise they'll know it's us and we try to help him. It's a matter of money, that's all. But where's money to come from? Has Yvette been round? I ran into her. She said she's got her grasp of some colonel who might be willing to buy her a canteen business.
Do you really wish to sell?
But where's money for Sergeant to come from?
But what'll we live on?
That's just it.
My dear Courage. Fancy seeing you so soon. Now, I hear you wanted to sell your cart.
Pledge it, not sell it, not quite that much hurry. It's not every day you find a cart like this in wartime.
Pledge? I thought it was for sale. I'm not so sure I'm interested. I thought you needed the money.
Oh, I do need the money, but I'd rather run myself ragged looking for a bidder than sell outright. And why? This cart's our livelihood, Yvette. It's a chance for you. Who knows when another like it will come round and you'll have a special friend to help you, am I right?
Make me out a receipt saying the cart's mine after 2 weeks up with all its contents. I'll check it now and I'll bring the 200 florins later. You need to be checking my cart and see there's nothing missing from it. Not that many boots, are there?
Yvette, now is not the time to be checking your cart, supposing it is yours. Swiss cheese will be court-martialed in an hour.
Just let me count the shirts.
You bloody vampire! Swiss cheese's life is at stake. Now you run there and don't you let on I'll say it's your friend who's asking or something.
I'm fixed to meet the one-eyed man at the cops. He'll be there by now.
Don't go offering the full 200 either. Go up to 150. Maybe enough?
Since when has it been your money? You kindly keep out of this. You'll get your hot butter right, don't you worry. No, run off and don't haggle. It's life or death.
Far be it from me to interfere, but you're saddled with a daughter who can't earn her keep. What are we going to live on?
I'm counting on the regimental cash box, Mr. Clever. They'll allow it as his expenses.
They'll do it for 200, but it's got to be quick, soon to be out of their hands. Best thing is I go with my colonel to the one-eyed fellow. Swiss cheeses admitted he had the cash box. They put the thumb screws on him, but he chucked it in the river as soon as he saw they were on his track. Box is a write-off. I'll go and get the money from my colonel, shall I?
Box is a write-off! How am I to pay the 200 then?
Oh, I see. You thought you'd get it from the cash box. And I was to be Joe Soap, I suppose. Nah, you better not count on that. You'll have to pay if you want Swiss cheese back. Or would you sooner I forget the whole thing so you can keep your cart?
I didn't allow for that. No, don't worry, you'll get the cart. I've written it off. It's just... I've got to think of Catherine as well, what we live off. No. I'll have to keep something back, or otherwise any John, Dick and Harry can keep me in the ditch. Right. Tell them I'll pay 120 florins.
He won't do it. The one-eyed man's impatient already. He keeps looking over his shoulder. He's so worked up. Hadn't I best just give them the whole 200?
I can't pay that!
No, Yvette, I know what I'm doing. Tell them I pay 120 florins, else it's all off.
Oh, it's up to you.
Don't worry. Swiss cheese will be back. I'll pay the 200 if it comes to it. With 80 florins, we could buy a couple of things, start over again. Plenty of people have to make do.
The Lord will provide, it says.
They won't do it! I told you so! The one-eyed fellow wanted to leave right away. He's just waiting for the drum roll, and that means the sentence is being pronounced. Offered 150 and he didn't even blink. I had to convince him to stay there so I could come and speak to you again.
Tell them I'll pay the 200. Hurry! I reckon I bargained too long.
Well, you got what you asked for with your haggling and trying to keep your cart. 11 bullets they gave him, that's all. You don't deserve I should bother any more about you, but I did hear they don't really believe the box is in the river. They've an idea it's here and that somehow you're connected with him. They're going to bring him by here and see if you give yourself away when you see him. I thought I'd best tell you so that you don't recognise him. Look, I best tell you quick, they're right on my heels. Shall I keep Catherine away? She mayn't have heard or know what the drumming meant.
She knows. Get her.
Here's someone we don't know the name of. It's got to be listed, so everything's shipshape. He had that Mir here, so have a look, see if you know him. Know him? What? But he had that Mir here. Never seen him before. Pick him up, chuck him in the pit. He's got nobody knows him.
Mother Courage sings the song of the grand capitulation.
Hey, I know you. Yeah, you had a paymaster with you from the Lutherans, and he was in hiding. I'd not complain if I were you. But I've got a complaint to make. I'm innocent. Would look as if I had a bad conscience if I didn't complain. Smashed everything in my car to pieces with their sabres, they did. And then wanted I pay 5 thaler fine for nothing. I tell you, nothing. Look, take my advice. We've not got any canteens, so we'll let you go on trading. Especially if you've got a bad conscience and you pay a fine every now and then. I've got a complaint. Have it your way, but you'll need to wait till the captain's free.
Book limit on! Where's that bleeding piggy captain that took my reward money to swig with his tarts? I'll do him. Shut up, they'll put you in irons. Hey there, you thief! I'll slice you into pork chops, I will. Pocketing my prize money after I'd swum the river. Only winning the whole squadron, and now I can't even buy myself a beer. I'm not standing for that. Come on out here so I can cut you up!
Oh God, he's asking for trouble! Is this about some sort of reward money he wasn't paying?
Go! I'll slice you too while I'm at it.
He rescued the colonel's horse and got no reward for it. He
He's young yet, so wet behind the ears.
Leave him be. He's not some sort of dog who needs to be chained up. Wanting your reward is good sound sense. Why be a hero otherwise?
What, so's he can sit in there and booze? You're shit scared, the lot of you. I done something special. I want my reward.
Not trying to go shouting at me, young fellow. I've got my own worries, I do. Better spare your voice for when the captain comes round. Because otherwise, there he'll be, and you two hoes to make a sound. That'll make it hard for him to clap you in irons until you turn blue. People who shout like that can't keep it up. Ever. Half an hour and you'll be so tired they'll need to rock you to sleep.
I'm not tired, and to hell with sleep. I'm hungry. I mean, they make our bread from, what, acorns and hemp seed, and they even skimp on that. He's holding away my reward and I'm hungry. I'll do him.
I see, you're hungry. Last year, that general of yours ordered you all across fields and off roads so corn could be trampled. Thought he'd be well away from this area next year. Yet here we are, and hunger is great. I see why you're angry.
Don't talk to me, I'm not listening. I'm not standing for it.
And you're right. But how long are you not standing for unfairness? An hour? 2 hours? Haven't thought about that, have you? But it's the whole point. Because once they've clapped you in irons, it'd be too bad if you suddenly realised that you can stand for unfairness after all.
Are you trying to tell me that asking for my reward is wrong?
Oh, not at all. I'm just saying that your anger has already gone up in smoke. It wasn't long enough. But where's it to come from now?
What am I listening to you for? Book Madon, where's that captain?
You're listening to me because you know it's like what I say. What you would have needed was a long anger. In that case, I would have tried to prod you on. Slice him up, that swine would have been my advice in that case. But what if you don't slice him up after all, because you feel your tail going between your legs? Then I'd look silly and the general would take it out on me.
You're perfectly right. He's just a bit crazy.
Alright,
Let's see if I don't cut him up.
Captain will be here in 1 minute.
We'll sit down.
He's sitting now. What did I say? You're sitting now. How well they know us. No one needs to tell them what to do about it. They just say, sit down, and bingo, we're sitting. And sitting and sedition don't mix. And don't try standing up now, because you won't be standing the way you were standing before. Don't have to be worried about I think about you. I'm not any better. Suppose I were to complain, might be bad for business. Let me tell you a thing or two about the grand capitulation. Back when I was young, I was brought to realize what a very special person I must be. Insisted that my soup should have no hairs in it. No one makes a sucker out of me. Then I heard a tale. Wait a bit. Marching with the band instead
truly sit on it and your anger's big enough. But if it's not, better leave straight away.
Stop it! As a captain here now, you can make a complaint.
I changed my mind. I'm not complaining. Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a 15-minute interval and the student bar is open upstairs if you want to have a drink. Outside the Bavarian town of Ingolstadt, Courage participates in the funeral of the late Imperial Commander Tilly. Discussions are held about war heroes and the war's duration. The chaplain complains that his talents are lying fallow and dumb catching gets the red books. The year is 1632.
Now the funeral procession will be moving off.
Too bad about Commander-in-Chief. They say he fell by accident, missed over fields, that was the trouble. He was just haranguing a regiment saying they should fight to last man and last round. And on his way back, mist made him change direction so he was up front, and a bullet got him midst of battle. You spring shankers starting your Commander-in-Chief's funeral! A scandal, I call it! They should have never cleared the troops out before the funeral. Instead of going there, just getting pissed.
Aren't you supposed to go to the funeral?
Dodged it, caught the rain. See, it's different with you. Your uniform might get wet. I heard they wanted to toll bells for the Commander-in-Chief's funeral as per usual. Only, all the churches had been blown to smithereens by his commands. So poor old Commander-in-Chief won't be hearing no bells as they let the coffin down. They're going to let off 3 salvos instead to cheer things up.
Here, Mrs. A brandy.
Let's see your money. No, I'm not having you in my tent with those disgusting boots. You can drink outside, rain or no rain. I'm only letting in sergeants and up. They say Commander-in-Chief had been having his worries because he cut the 2nd Regiment's pay, said it was a war of faith and they should do it for free.
Now they'll be filing past the noble corpse.
I can't help feeling sorry for all those generals and emperors. There they are, maybe thinking they're doing something extra special that people will talk about in years to come, like conquering the world, for instance. That's a fine ambition for a general. How's he to know any better? But the best plans get bollocksed up by the pettiness of those who should be carrying them out. Because emperors can't do anything themselves. They just rely on soldiers and ordinary people to do whatever they say. Am I right?
Courage, you're right. Aside from the soldiers, they do their best. It'd be that lot outside there, for instance, drinking their brandy in the rain, and I guarantee to make you one war after another for 100 years, and I'm no trained general.
So you don't think war might end then?
What, because the Commander-in-Chief's gone? Don't be childish. They're 2 a penny. No shortage of heroes.
A soldier cannot wait! You do his emperor's orders! Maybe the devil is on!
I'd say there's peace in war too. Has its peaceful moments. Because war satisfies all requirements, peaceable ones included. They're catered for and would simply fizzle out if they weren't. In war you can do a crap like in the depths of peacetime. Between one battle and the next you can have a beer. And even when you're moving up you can lay your head in your arms and have a bit of a shy in the ditch. It's entirely possible. During a charge you can't play cards maybe, but nor can you in the depths of peacetime when you're ploughing. And after a victory there are various openings. You may get a leg blown off. And you'll start off by making a lot of fuss as though it were serious. Then you'll calm down, get given a schnapps. And the war's no worse off than before. What's to stop you being fruitful and multiplying in the middle of all the butchery? Find a barn or something. In the long run you can't be held back from it. And then the war will have your progeny, and we'll use them to carry on with. No. The war will always find an outlet. Mark my words. Why should it ever stop?
I'll buy fresh stock while the prices are low then. Katrin! Damn me if she weren't waiting for peace. I promised her I'd get her a husband as soon as peace came.
Yes! I won! You've been talking too much. Yeah?
Don't be silly. War will go on a bit longer and we'll make a bit more money and then peacetime will be all the nicer for it. Now, you go into town, that's 10 minutes walk. Go to the Golden Lion and pick up the stock there, it's all arranged. We'll pick the rest of the cart later. Now, regimental clerk here will go with you. Nothing can happen to you, it's all right. They're all at the funeral. And don't let anyone take anything from you. Think of your dowry.
That's all right to let her go with the clerk.
She's not so pretty that I want to ruin her.
Courage. I have often thought that your warm way of talking conceals more than just a warm heart. You are human too and in need of warmth.
Best way for us to keep this tent warm is have plenty of firewood.
It's not a relationship founded on meals and firewood. Let your head speak, harden thyself not.
That would be too close a relationship. I'm not making a joke of it, Padre. Be sensible. I like you. I don't want to row with you. All I'm after is get myself and my children through all this with this cart. Right now I'm taking a gamble, buying fresh stocks, when Commander-in-Chief's dead and all the talks of peace. Where would you turn if I were to be ruined? Don't know, do you? No. You chop us some kindling wood so we can keep warm at night. That's quite something you said. What's up? Katrin! What happened? Were you assaulted on your way back? She was assaulted on her way back. Katrin, it's all right. Let me have a look. Oh, it's just a flesh wound you've got. I'll bandage it, and in a week or two it'll be all right. Didn't Claire come back with you? But that's because you're respectable. They don't bother about those. They only care about the ones they're after. Those are the ones you really have to be sorry for. Oh, Katrin. See? There you are. All bandaged up. I've got something for you. I kept it. Made you open your eyes, eh? Something you've always wanted. Put them on before I change my mind. Katrin!
Let's hope she's not disfigured.
She'll have a scar. There's no use her waiting for peacetime now.
She never let them steal the things.
Perhaps I shouldn't have dinned that into her so. I'd like to know what goes on in that head of hers. Just once she stayed out all night. Once in all those years. Afterwards she went about like before and she worked harder. Could never get her to tell me what happened. Worried me quite a while, that did. That's war for you, nice way to make a living.
Now they'll be burying the Commander-in-Chief. This is a historic moment.
What I call a historic moment is them bashing my daughter over the eye. She's half wrecked already, won't get no husband now, and her so crazy about kids. Anyway, she's only done from war. Soldier stuffed something in her mouth when she was little.
As for Swiss cheese, I'll never see him again, and where Aleph is, God knows. War be damned.
The same year sees the death of the Swedish king Gustavus Adolphus at the Battle of Lutzen. Peace threatens to ruin Mother Courage's business. Courage's dashing son performs one heroic deed too many and comes to a sticky end.
Peace! Swedish king's been killed!
What's all this bell ringing about in the middle of the week?
What's that they're shouting? Peace.
Don't tell me peace has broken out just as I laid in new stock.
That's shouting peace.
Yes. 3 weeks ago they say, only no one told us.
What else would they be ringing the bells for?
A whole lot of brothers have driven into town. They brought the news.
Holy cow. Catherine! Peace! Put your black dress on, we're going to church! Least we can do for Swiss cheese. Is it true though? What's up in camp?
There is tumbling.
I'll go on over. Shouldn't I put on my clerical garb?
Better check out before parading yourself as a heretic. I'm glad about peace. Never mind if I'm ruined. At least I've got 2 of my children through the war. Might even be seeing Aleph again now.
Bless me. Who's this I see? The army commander's cook.
What I behold? The padre.
Courage, we have company.
Promised I'd stop by for a little talk soon as I had the chance. I've not forgotten your brandy, Mrs. Feeling.
Is it true? The general's cook after all these years. How's my eldest boy, Aleph?
Has he not got here? He left before me, said he was coming to see you too.
Just a moment. I'll don my clerical garb.
He'll be here any moment then. Captain! Look who's here! It's the general's cook! Get him a glass of brandy! Cookie. Cookie, you caught me at a bad moment. I'm ruined.
What? That's hard.
Peace will wring my neck. I just followed the chaplain's advice and laid in new stock a couple of days ago, and now they'll demobilise and I'll be sitting on my wares.
What do you want to go and listen to Padre for? If I hadn't been in such a rush that time with the Catholics coming, I'd have warned you against that man. Oh, pissing wind he is. So he's the authority around here.
He's been doing washing up and helping Paul.
Him? Pool? I bet he's been telling you some of those jokes of his as well. I know him, he's got a very unhealthy view of women. All my good influence on him went for nothing. He ain't steady.
You steady then.
Whatever else I ain't, I'm steady. Mud in your eye.
Steady's nothing.
Still alright. Only had a few moths in it.
Can't see why you bother. You won't get your old job back. Who are you to inspire now to lay down his life and earn his pay honourably? What's more, I got a bone to pick with you because you advised this lady to buy a load of unnecessary goods, telling her that the war would go on forever.
I'd like to know what concern that is of
Because
yours.
it's unscrupulous, that sort of thing. You should know better than to meddle in other folks' business arrangements.
Who's meddling? I didn't know this gentleman to be such an intimate of yours that you had to account to him for everything.
Keep your hair on. Cookie's just giving his personal advice. And you can't deny that your war was a flop.
You should not blaspheme against peace, Courage. You're a hyena of the battlefield.
What?
If you're going to insult this lady, you'll have to settle with me.
It's not you I'm talking to. Your intentions are only too transparent. But when I see you picking up peace betwixt your finger and thumb like some dirty old snot rag, then my humanity feels outraged. For then I see that you don't want peace but war because you profit from it. In which case, you should remember the old saying that whosoever sups with the devil needs a long spoon.
Oh, I've got no use for war, and war's not got much use for me either. But I'm not being called no hyena. You and me's through!
Then why grumble about peace because of some old junk in your cart?
That old junk is what I live by, and you too so far.
A half of war.
You should know better than to get involved with other people's business. Way things are, your best bet's to go and get rid of certain goods before prices hit rock bottom. Get dressed, not a moment to lose.
That's good advice. I'll do that then.
Because Cookie says it.
Why couldn't you say so? I'm getting ready.
That's one to me, Padre.
You've got no presence of mind.
What you should have said was, what? Me offer advice? All I did was discuss politics. Better not take me on. Cockfighting doesn't suit you in that get-up.
You shut your gob or I'll murder you. Get up or no get up.
Oh, shame the war made such a godless shit, else you'd easily get another parsonage now that it's peacetime. Cooks won't be needed, there's nothing to cook but faith. Faith goes on just the same. Nothing's changed in that direction.
Mr. Lamb, I'm asking you not to elbow me out since I come down in the world. I couldn't preach to anyone.
Right. Church is off. I'm going to town instead. If Elif comes round, one of you give him a drink.
So, now you've called her a hyena, looks like you're finished here. What are you staring at?
Elif. What's wrong?
Where's mother?
Gone into town.
I was told she was here. They said I could come see her.
What are you doing with him?
Something not nice.
What's he been up to?
He broke into the peasant's house. The wife's dead.
How could you do something like that?
It's what I did last time, isn't it?
Peace now!
Shut up! Can I sit down while I wait?
We've no time.
They recommended him for that in wartime. Sat him next to the general's right hand. Dashing it was. Any chance of a word with the provost marshal?
Won't do no good. Breaking into somebody's house. What's dashing about that?
Dumb, I call it.
If I'd have been dumb, you'd have starved!
But as you were clever, you're going to be shot.
You better fetch Catherine out anyhow.
I'd rather have a schnapps. Could I?
We've no time. Come along.
And what will we tell your mother?
Tell her it wasn't anything, or tell her it was the same.
I shall
Tell her it was
accompany
enough.
you on your grievous journey.
I don't need any bloody person!
Wait and see.
I'll have to tell her she want to see him.
I wouldn't say anything. At least that he was here and will be back tomorrow. By that time, I'll be back and can break it to her.
Hello? Don't you want to come out? I can understand you hiding from peace. I'd like to do the same myself. Do you remember me? I'm the General's cook. I was wondering if maybe you had a bit of something to eat while I wait for your mum? Couldn't have got a bit of pork or bread or anything just to fill the time.
Cookie! Peacetime's over. War's been on again for 3 days now. I heard the news just before selling my stuff, thank God. We need to get the cart off immediately. They're having a shooting match with the Lutherans in town. Catherine! Get ready! What are you in the ditch for? What's wrong?
Nothing.
I can tell there's something. I see it on your face.
Just because war's starting up again means it'll be tomorrow before I get my next hot meal inside me.
You're lying to me, Cookie.
Elif was here. Had to leave almost at once though.
Was he now? Well, we'll be seeing him in camp tonight then. I'm joining our side this time. What was his news? Still in the General's good books? Performed any more deeds of valor?
Repeated one, I'm told.
Oh, he'll never change. Take more than I want to take him away from me. Catherine, peacetime is over. We're moving off. What about you?
I'll have to be getting back.
Why don't you... Where's Padre?
He's gone off into town with Elif.
Then you join us away. I could use someone to help me.
I won't say no.
We've got to get going. The 12 has moved off already. We've got to swing round behind the Lutherans. We might even be seeing Elif tonight. He's my favourite. Short piece, wasn't it? Now we're off again.
It is the 17th year of the Great War of Faith. Germany has lost more than half her inhabitants. Those who survive the bloodbath are killed off by terrible epidemics. Once fertile areas are ravaged by famine. Wolves roam the burnt-out towns. In autumn 1634, we find courage in the Fichtederberger off the main axis of the Swedish armies. Business is bad, so that there is nothing to do but beg. The cook gets a letter from Utrecht and is sent packing.
It's all dark. Nobody's up yet.
What about the parson's house? They have to get up early to ring the bells and then there'll be hot soup.
What with when the whole village is burnt down? We saw it.
It's lived in. You heard the dog bark.
Well, let's say the parson's got something. What makes you think he'll give us something?
Maybe if we sing.
I've had enough. Got a letter from Utrecht to say that Mother had died of cholera and the inn's mine. This is the letter if you don't believe me. No business here is the way that Manny goes on about my mode of existence, but have a look.
Lamb, I'm tired too of always running about. I feel like a butcher's dog dragging around meat to customers and getting nothing off it.
The hell's lying there?
Sometimes I dream that I'm driving my cart through hell selling brimstone, or through heaven handing out packed lunches to hungry souls. No, just give me my children that are left and let's find a place they're not shooting, and I'd like to have a couple more years undisturbed.
You and me should get that in going, Courage. Think it over. I made my mind up in the night. Back to your trek with or without you. And starting today.
That's a bit sudden. I don't like making decisions all freezing cold and nothing inside you. I have to talk to Catherine about it. Catherine! I need to talk to you. Listen. Cook and I would like to go to Utrecht. He was left an inn there. That'd be a set place for us and let you meet a few people. Lots of them respect someone mature. And I mean, looks aren't everything. And we'd have our set meals and you could even have your own bed. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Now, road's no life for us really, is it? But of course, we could also be moving off with the Swedes.
I'd like to speak to him privately.
Go back in the car, Catherine.
I had to interrupt. You don't understand as far as I can see. I didn't think I'd have to say it. It sticks out a mile, but in case it doesn't, let me tell you straight. No question of bringing her with is not a chance, you understand?
You mean I'm to leave Catherine back here?
Use your imagination. The inn's not big enough. It's not the sort of your 3-bar parlours. Put her backs in it, the 2 of us will make a living, not the 3 of us. She can keep the car.
I thought she might find a husband in Utrecht.
Go on. Make me laugh. Find a husband how? Dumb. And that scar on top of it and at her age?
Not so loud.
Loud or soft, there's no getting over facts. And that's another reason why I can't have her at the inn. Customers don't want to be looking at it all the time. And I can't see I blame them.
Shut your big mouth. I said not so loud.
Lights on in Parsons' house.
How's she to pull the cart by herself? War scares her. The dreams she must have. I hear a night's shuffling, especially after a battle. What she sees in those dreams, I'd like to know.
The inn's too small. Last word. Think it over.
I don't need to think it over. I'm not leaving her here.
It's proper senseless. I'm not going to change your mind, though. I'm not a brute. It's just that the inn's too small. We better get on up. Or there'll be nothing left, and we'll have wasted all this time standing here in the cold.
I get Catherine.
Better bring something back for her. We'll scare them if they see the 3 of us coming.
Catherine? Catherine, what's all that? She's packed her things. Catherine, you've been listening. Catherine, don't be silly. I told Cook we're not going to Utrecht and Inns. That's no place for us. No, we're going to stay here and... You're being stupid. What if I'd seen that and you gone? Catherine. Don't think it's because of you. It's the cat. Could you imagine me leaving my cat behind? No, that'd be plain stupid. It's not because of you, it's the cat. Now, we'll throw Cookie's things out here and then it'll be just you and me again, and I won't let no one else in our business. See? We better get moving off. It's looking like snow. Better get hitched up. This winter will pass just like all the other winters.
January 1636. The Emperor's troops are threatening the Protestant town of Halle. The stone begins to speak. Mother Courage loses her daughter and trudges on alone. The war is a long way from being over.
I want no noise now. Anyone shouts, stick your pike into them.
We'll have to knock and get them up though, if we're to find a guide.
Knocking sounds natural. Could be a cow bumping the stable wall.
Where is it?
There's another one. Anyone else live here beside you lot?
That's our daughter and she's done. Her mother went into town to buy stuff.
For the business, because everybody's getting out and selling things so cheap. They're just passing through. Canteen folk.
I'm warning you. Keep quiet. And if there's the least bit of noise, you get a pike through your nut. Now, I want one of you to show me the path to the town. Here, you.
I don't know path.
She don't know no path.
I'm helping Catholics.
Stick your pike into your ribs.
No, not to save my life.
I know what will change her mind. 2 cows and an ox. And if you're not reasonable, we'll chop up your cattle.
No, not that. Please, spare our cattle, Captain. It's be starving us to death.
They're dead if she goes on being obstinate.
I'll take an ox first.
I've got to. Right. And thank you kindly, Captain, for sparing us. Forever and ever. Amen.
I knew the ox is what they minded about most. Was I right?
What are they up to? That's what I want to know. Nothing good.
Perhaps just scouting? What are you doing?
I'm seeing if they're on their own. Something moving in the wood. I can see something down by the quarry, and there are men in armour in the clearing, with a gun. That's at least a regiment. God's mercy on the town and everyone in it.
Any lights in the town?
No, they'll all be asleep. If those people get in, they'll butcher the lot of them.
Sentry's bound to spot them first.
The sentry in the tower up the hill must have been killed, or he would have blown his bugle.
Well, there were more of us.
Me, you, and the cripple.
Nothing we can do, you'd say.
Nothing.
We can't possibly run down there in the blackness.
The hillside's crawling with them. We could send a signal.
And have them come and butcher us too.
You're right. Nothing we can do.
Pray, poor creature, pray. Nothing we can do to stop the bloodshed. You can't speak, maybe, but you can pray, yes. You'll hear you if no one else can.
Our which art in heaven, hear thou our prayer. Let not the town be destroyed with all that's in it, sound asleep and suspecting nothing. Arouse thou them that they may get up and go to the walls and see the enemy approacheth with guns and pikes in the blackness across the fields below the slope. Guard thou our mother, and ensure that the watchman sleepeth not, but get up, or it will be too late. Succour our brother-in-law, who is also inside, with his 4 children. They are innocent and know nothing. One's not yet 2, and the eldest 7. Our Father, hear us, for only thou canst help. We are weak, and for why? We have no pike, and nothing, and can risk nothing, and are in thy hand, along with the cattle, and the farm, and the town too is also in thy hand, and the enemy approacheth in great strength. Forget not the children that are also in danger, the littlest ones especially, and the old folk who can't move, and every living creature.
And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Amen.
Jesus Christ, what's she doing?
She's out of her mind.
Put there down! She'll do us in!
Stop that drumming at once, you cripple!
Bring the Catholics down on us!
I'll stone you!
Where's your feelings? Where's your heart? We love her and they condemn us! Slit her throats, they will! We shouldn't have let those vagabonds onto the farm! What do they care if our cows are taken? I'll cut you to ribbons! All of you! These are not our fault, there was her sneaked up there! A foreigner! How do we get up?
There!
I order you! Throw down that drum! You're all in this together, aren't you? Well, it'll be the end of you!
They were cutting pine trees in that wood. But I forgot one of the trunks and his pipes are off.
Come on, then. We'll take any time to see if Mum's no harm. Come on.
She won't listen to you, but a mum like that's no surprising. What if I gave you my word? I'll give you my word of honour as an officer. Is nothing sacred to her? More than a mother-in-law, sir. We need to get her down on a town so to hear her. We need to find something to make a noise with. Something louder than that drumming. Something when it make a noise. A heartless one, you fool, a peaceful one.
I can cut wood with my axe.
Good. Chop. Hurry up! Chop harder! Harder! You're chopping by your life! You're not loud enough! Good! Chop! He's only got 1 minute! They set the party fire and smoking out. I wouldn't have done it. The 2 people so far, I didn't know what's up. Look at her! Laughing at us. I'm not having that. I'll shut her down without the consequences. And get your argument! They've got it. That's their car. If we smash it up, she'll stop. Because all they've got. You! Smash it up! Everybody smash up your car if you don't stop drumming! They can't hear you! And now, everybody shake it down! For the last time, stop that drumming! Go on, drumming! Or we'll all be held! Go on! Go on! We can't just stop it and out and off your court martial! Set it up! Set it up! For the very last time, stop that drumming! Fire!
That's the end of that. She did it. I can hear noises from the town.
I think she's going to sleep. Lullaby, baby, was dancing in the hay. Neighbors' kids grizzle, but my kids are gay.
Neighbors and tatters on you dressed in lawn, cut down from the raiment an angel has worn. Neighbors, go hungry and you shall eat cake. Suppose it's too crumbly, you're only to speak. Lullaby, baby, what's that in the head? The one lies in Poland, the other, who can say? Better if you hadn't told her anything about your brother-in-law's case.
If you hadn't gone into town to get your cut, this might never have happened.
She's asleep now.
She ain't asleep. Don't you see she's passed over?
It's high time you were going too. There's wolves around here, and what's worse, marauders.
Aye. And you got nobody else that you could go to?
Aye, one left. Aleph.
You best look for him then. We'll mind her. See she gets a proper funeral, don't worry about that.
Here's money for expenses.
I'd hurry.
Hope I can pull the cart a ride by myself. Be alright, not much in it. Got to get back in business again.